Ato adeswama ya mamunyina ha mo muti yemfie ne amanone enyina ebra se TETE MMOFRA online TV KASI3BO krogin ayensaka no yede ni nyina bremo na awie na nsem no de mu akotin bi ene se omampanina shato wo se kwa bia so ne bosumi nsia akatua dika no wode beboa woni bie ama wonso enya apomodene osofo hwengumasua so ede atudwa se nipa bia MPP fue nim se abana ho odene entim na nso wo fa wo mo adwuma ya teacher fo ansa na okro no enye wo nyina na ba no betimi atua wonka sa nso na asoasi kumase ya abranti a omapani aboni dene no se o maya ban crash pani no NDC fo ho bi se da omuni no mantem ho no abeye aban crash pani afi enkra yensa ka bio ekira na ipadudu bi nso a ya na omuwiewia omo ekọ meka emfa ne kwa so no ABA fuseni etu honfo otemuani bi nso ate ho ache Ghana fo se nsem no ana aburugu ho a amafo di wo matam nye wo ma akade ahodo a na eni kwoto a ma otimi edi won dwuma so amenso abaya bi nipa do bi akohunu se wo wuhye kamu ya odwono ho a wonte ase afi yebekọ bremai asantimu no wo bremai asikuma enkra yensa kan se ahensem hunti enkonwa tuntum wo ho no enipa bi atamodwane eba ne sen yebepemu nchiremu nyina na yede abramo wo KASI3BO iso midindi no na opoku ajeman na KASI3BO no beyo de na yo akono a na o se o kame ho ne yede aseda ema odifo Samuel Prayer and Counseling Center woni de wo ya itiawa abrabom wo ha bi a wonam mu bia obehwe no yefro bi nso na pese okọ wanim no nso obeboa de ye aware mu de court asem ahensem afi wo pe so okọ wanim ewo adwuma mu a eye promotion bi nso ana wo honhom aware enye kura promise and fail gina ho nam de bro nenso aka akire ni nyina wo mo ye eho adwuma kwantuo mu de nyina esoso ka ho edifo ni kire Jaba family house wo ahembobo no kumasi kurudue ye mu menhia asem na make traffic light na sepe na koto D4 Samuel Prayer and Counseling Center na onsio mama memra na fe nsem no nyina menhia se enchiremu enchiremu afi abusafo nsem nche mu na edidi soe omampani John Damani Mahama wabu akonta eye abosome na edikan ewo na mamu yi mu akire Ghana fo na mamu no ene emu akontabu edikan ene ode ato Ghana fo anim se wabofutuo bi a wato ne dimbrofo kasem se Mahama Kes na chese John Mahama odwene wo ho na osisa afoto no no ode na katue ya abosome nsi edikan ena eto ase a ohwe nimu se nipa dodo na sonso ebinya eho emfaso ebio wate ho se na bedi achi ma mi je no poku ajeman ono so edena no atum bi se abosome na edikan no ono de wantimi abosome nsia no enan edikan no de beso ne so ema ode aboa amanfo omampani ekira na wenu nyina edi gina so ema wona woni bie nkankan yarebone a tore bi ebodini fia na abofie no foton ebeka wono eno ena sesike wode bekwakoso wansene na wode ahwe won ebio wate ho se ensem ahodo a egugu abamu a ebu a ne kan ye katsene asiye kasiye nka bi se Ahmed Swale nsenchoni a owu ya no na sem no enhwe mu no so obeboa ama posifo akoso a ye do betimi bia se be ya wona edi se ewu no so won hontuma ebepa ominti obampani John Damani Mahama
promised to open investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 elections killings, Ayawaswo Gombai election violence, and the murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas Wolochami. The new Inspector General of Police has established a special task force. Investigations have been reopened and progress is being made. In the tragic murder of Ahmed Hussein Swali 6 years later, the police service have made an arrest and the suspect was arraigned before court and remanded. Investigations are also ongoing into the election 2020 Teshiman South incident where 2 lives were lost. In Ododo, where 2 persons died, 3 individuals have been charged with conspiracy and murder and committed for trial at the High Court. In Ablikuma Central, where a military officer is alleged to have caused a death, the scene has been revisited and a request was made to the Chief of Army Staff for the release of the personnel involved to assist in investigations. For the tragic death of Silas Ulochame in Banda, the Attorney General's office under the previous administration had advised against prosecution due to lack of evidence. But I'm pleased to report that we have reopened the case based on actionable intelligence. In Doma West, where Kofi Robert died, 1 person has been charged and is standing trial, while the other suspect is at large and is being pursued. In Savlugu, where Zakaria Samira, a 16-year-old, died from a gunshot, efforts are still being made to find the assailant despite a lack of cooperation from witnesses. And concerning the January 31st, 2019, Ayawaso West Wogombai election violence, where 18 persons suffered injury from individuals later identified as national security operatives, we will not let that matter die without justice being served to the victims. ASP Azugo, who was deeply involved in the violence and atrocities on the day, is currently cooperating with the National Investigations Bureau to identify, arrest, and on April 29, 2025, I officially launched the fund at the University of Ghana Medical Center, where I pledged 6 months of my salary as my contribution to start. Vice President Nana Jane also pledged 4 months of her salary to the Mahama Cares Fund, and I have since directed that every government appointee of mine should contribute at least the equivalent of 1 month's salary to the fund. This includes CEOs and all other appointees. I encourage every Ghanaian to contribute as you are willing and able. The short code for the contributions across all mobile networks is *225#. *225#. Disbursement to support needy patients will begin once the governing board is put in place. The draft Ghana.
Yakwere mu KASI3BO num. Owura Haruna Idrisu a woye oswafo da enwasua ano e de atodwa se abanda da etwam ye MPP no ko mo ye di Ghana fo abro ko ye adie no ene se wona wonim se enya ade a wonya atumi krata ifira so ye hwe sikasem ho se achechefo makoma be se mpem aduasa nkron 39,000 obetimi etua wo mo ka nenso ofa wo na wonim ebia no mo a esoso nda ye se obedi ntwo ne bia waya aban foforo beba na abrode antina oyesa osofo edi nsemi nyina atudwa ebra wone sa chechefo yi a wawie school ekira de nenso wo kira waketua akam na oye kire no na ehia ebra oba na ekọ no ho na oje won krata na ode sa nsemi nyina atudwa osofo hari na disu ekira na enipa be se empem aduasa nkron no wo hwe ni mu se mu be se empem nkron aboroso akosi mpim dumienu na ban no sabre wa krado so obetimi atua wonka wona aka ne de esikasem nti enya de a obetimi atua wonka momantie Haruna Idrisu.
When you come and create this sin, I have to respond to it. Appointment letters were issued to persons numbering up to 39,000 when there was no financial clearance to do that to begin with. So that's problematic. So of the 39,000, probably government may be able to absorb 9, 11, 12,000, but certainly not 39,000. So whoever misled you, deceived you, is not John Mahama or Haruna Idrisu administration, not at all. Somebody probably, I won't use the word con, that's too strong, but deceptively got a number of you unknowingly, without knowing, to yield to some recruitment of a sort, which recruitment was not approved legitimately. So we are auditing to know that yes, you have the right qualification, you are entitled to the appointment, and 3, you are at post. Then out of you, we will pick that which we can absorb within budget. If that exercise is not complete, I have no story to tell you. You have to be patient until we finish the validation exercise. Yeah, I wasn't here. I wasn't here. Okay. DJ will pour out some of the statistics. I was telling them about the 39,000. You remember?
Yes. Ena mame Linda Ukura ono oye nkrasoafo no mantam ebo NDC for kokose wona aban eyi won se o meda mensin entwe nkropon ano a eba yese yenye no no saade no omunya anye sa aban no de ode na beba no eno ano mbehwe so ofi se aban no ya kachi ewo ne dwumadie mu nanso nipa wo mo asoase de wo mo antie sa asemi enkra yensa kan efra asoase NDC fo aso ya na ekire se abrantie bia aban no aboni dini eye Ben Abdallah NDC fo na sore se kwa bia so enya de a wo mbege na tum ni o mo nyine ntum no se ni tietia mu NDC fo nzi wo munyim no ho so ye NDC ni mo ma yenkoye na yenkohe oye kire no ene emu nsem ahodo.
We will never accept Ben Abdallah. He's nobody in the constituency. When is Ben Abdallah? Who is Ben Abdallah? When is he? Who is Ben Abdallah? Who voted for Mutaka? Who is Ben Abdallah? We will never accept him. You can't impose someone on us. You can't impose a stranger on us. You can't impose a stranger on us. No, so allow that. Who is Ben Abdallah? We can never rule over us. We will never accept him. How can people that want to control? Leaving people that who work for the party. This is betrayal. It's no way the election of the NDC are decisive. Hey!
Presidential vote.
Abrante Dennis Miracles Abwajia ebra yebeto abe no kasadema Dr. Mahmoud Baumia otu Frank Adema MVP amanyuku no de atodwa se no kwasem no hwe ahokyera ekoso pa sabri na NDC amanyuku no entime enso ano na ehunahuna no de hunahuna nkofo no ne nneema basa ekoso na kyerɛ sɛ wɔn de adefɛdefɛ sɛm ene ano frɛmfrɛmfrɛmfrɛm ene ensɛm a enye no korɛ ene bɛpre akonwan Dennis kyerɛ na nneema ekoso nyinaa de di pefe sɛ aban wɔnyɛ na dwene koraa sɛ obetumi ayi bi papa bi de aboa ɔman no na kampɛ sɛ yɛtumi afa yɛ ntoma pa efra saa no nti ayɛ nneema patapa nom ne de nsɛm fata nko a ɛna bɛn wɔyɛ ɔnhwɛ n'anim na nneema ehia manfo pa sɛ bi akwan baabi ɛbɛda nom yapom dresɛ mo no ne ade no ɛno de ehia ban no mama yentie miracles aboaje bra na okasa no
20 days. The reality, not these theories, the reality is that we've been saddled with a group of people who have been disturbing our ears with lamentations and complaints. Almost all of them. It's as if the government came into office without a plan, without a strategy. It's almost beginning to look as if all the things they were saying, which was giving the Ghanaian people hope that they were going to, or they were an alternative, or they had alternative solutions to some of our challenges, were just rhetorics. And that they really didn't have any concrete plan. So you listen to the cocoa board CEO, who is moving from one cocoa farm to the other with this leather chair. And the farmers tell him that you promised that specifically, that cocoa should be 6,000 per, and it shouldn't be 3,000. Why haven't you done it? And then he says, since we came, we realized that there's a lot of mess in cocoa board, and the way cocoa board is a mess, it will be difficult for us to increase. So what was the indicators based on which you made that promise? It's a big worry. Yeah. So I've been in the past week playing videos of the energy minister, what he said when he was ranking member, and what he's saying now as minister. And sometimes I feel very sad for him because you listen to him and it's like he's debating himself. He's disagreeing with himself. Things that he said. Today, he's fighting those same things and saying that those things are not true, they cannot be right. And you ask yourself, but who are you disagreeing with? And you realize it's himself.
Well, now he's in power, and so he has
to know what we should expect. That, for me, is my assessment of the 120-day period. That tells you that the government didn't come into office with a plan. They came into office on the back of lies. Promises that they believed were going to sound nice in the ears of the voter, just to get the votes.
Her Ladyship AGA Jawara oye appeal court judge ede atudwa se Ghana for ehwe niema bi na tore bi a omo kasetia emum ya na o kwan so kasetia sa nenso enya de a eye atemuafo no emfom so kra sensem bebru so aguso ewo ho sa de bia oso hwe atemuani ba ku bia sem ede bre ne dako ene o man no pempenso ya kodu nipa ewom no a enukure ni ama wo nso ya na o mo homete pa na wo kyerese nipa ni so nyina echi no eya de a akade kura hodo a temuafo no de bedi nsem amna koso ntentem no enya de a wo bi o eno nti ene ya na yehunu sa emagara fo nso ekase tia wo no ode nsem nyina atudwa ebra emra sebedwani a wo efutu eye kwame na afenyo markins wo bomode no no atumbutum sika na wode esi kotwa obia no ena ma maami onya kwan ekodi se adwuma no a o kire nsemu e de kire Ghana for
50 cases pending in the High Court alone. Going through a list I was furnished with, I observed that some of the cases were land disputes that go way back to the years 2011, 2013, and 2014. Just last Thursday, I concluded a trial in a matter that had been filed in 2008. Why should it take 17 years for a person to get justice one way or the other? The High Court, whenever, is inundated with a number of cases as people keep filing new cases. It has only one courtroom, as we heard from the Honorable Member of Parliament, and since February this year, has had to go the way of the shift system, with the 2 judges currently assigned to the court sitting on alternate days and time so as to clear the backlog. Clearly, this is not an ideal situation and is very limiting in terms of productivity. The presumed goal of the administration of justice is to provide justice for all those accessing the legal system. As the maxim goes, and I quote, courts have neither the power of the purse nor the sword, meaning that unlike other institutions of government, our courts rarely have the power to raise money. The administration of justice is the collective responsibility of us all. The importance of public-private sector participation in the development agenda cannot be overemphasized. Its importance resounds in the passing of the Public-Private Partnership Act 2020, Act 1039, which came into force on 29 December 2020. One of the main objectives of the Act is the encouragement and promotion of local content in PPP projects. Government, as in the executive, remains the main provider of works and services, particularly infrastructure and related services. All these are funded from public funds, monthly revenues generated from taxation and national resources. The generally inadequacy of public funds to finance needed public infrastructural services through public procurement requires an alternate approach to financing the delivery of public infrastructure and services. It is against this background that the construction of this courthouse by the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Efuto constituency, Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, given the limited courtroom facilities available currently in Winneba, is a very welcome timely addition and undoubtedly a breath of fresh air to our court infrastructure. The Judicial Service of Ghana is indeed very grateful for this shot in the arm, attributable to the commendable efforts and contribution of the Honorable Member of Parliament to the cause of justice. It is a realization and representation of people's hopes and a progressive contribution affording another opportunity for the enforcement of people's rights. I would, however, do an Oliver twist and on behalf of the service, request that the effort and contribution should go beyond the provision of physical infrastructure.
Na ilifado nyina enimpefe se Ghana ha ene ewiase mfa na nyina yenuanum kramofo wanhyehyeye afi bia okọ krukonkro Mecca eye Saudi Arabia fo ahinkronum sebe ya wonyamsom so betimi akọ animu na no na sabre ya meka say Ghana Hajj Board corporate affairs director a wono ena ekuo no ene amansan wode wontem atoto niama na wode atudwa se wobesere afidi obi a pese ofa koti kwan de kom Mecca ho bia so oba beto no hode a enya kwampa obesan ho owura Alhaji ABA Fuseni echiremu a na nipa dodo na ebi kura na wakofa agent bi so na nensa kan visa no ampa se ye ensrahwefo de na se sense nensa kan nanso nensa kan so obefa nhye no a waya to ye Hajj Board no de so no de akopie Mecca ho no eno anse wuruwuro one osori ya ma nensa so a ne kura so adase abra wo se mkose bia no eno ena Alhaji ABA Fuseni se ebere atwam no de atwam no no ne pen so de so be fa koti kwa be wura mu de ene lala ja akro na osika nyoka.
There are some people who are trying to take undue advantage of the unsuspecting character of pilgrims who want to go and have not had the opportunity. So they tell you that they can reduce, we can take some 40,000 from you and get you to go to the Hajj through the back door. I can tell you that it is a very dangerous exercise, not only for this country, but even the pilgrims themselves. As we speak now, there are many pilgrims who have been arrested by the Saudi authorities, and they are languishing in jails. They can't even come out to enjoy the basic freedom of even going to patronize the worship in the Grand Mosque, because they have been put in custody, and they have told them that they are going to send them, but they go for what we call tourist visa. A tourist visa does not entitle you to do Hajj, and so the Hajj authorities have made that abundantly clear that no tourist visas will be entertained, and anybody who comes with a tourist visa and attempts to enter Makkah for the Hajj will be arrested and charged 250,000 Ghana. Hey, I'm not in Ghana. 250,000 reals. And you know it's about 3.5 reals to $1. So you can imagine what that amount is. It's a huge amount. And so a lot of them already have been arrested. And we have taken the time and again to appeal to our brothers and sisters, our fathers and mothers, that they should not patronize that backdoor activity because it is mental to their own welfare. And instead of even getting the opportunity to do the Hajj, they will never see the Hajj again. So we are once again appealing to them and to the people carrying out those clandestine operations. They must cease forthwith. We don't have a duty to enforce the law in Saudi Arabia. The duty for the law enforcement in Saudi Arabia lies with the Saudi authorities. But if anyone ventures to come close, because sometimes they try to come and enter the tents where the Ghanaians are and others, we have served notice that we will not tolerate that intrusion. If you are not part of the pilgrims, because when you allow that, they come in and take over the services that our pilgrims are supposed to enjoy. If it's food, we are feeding the pilgrims free. No, food will be provided for all pilgrims who patronize this exercise. Accommodation will be provided, buses and others for them to facilitate their travel.
Alaji ABA Fuseni ena yetene nkana brebi atwam no se okọ bia ndende sa na regu ben tamala ono na no e mrasebedwani o science entroni ena nakonwa no bo no a nitiye ndi shamanyoku na ba sisi de ono ena wakoda corporate affairs ano e wo Hajj board so no arahusem bi asi swame eye kumasi krudu yemu arahusem a asi no ekira na swame dwom no ewura bi ene ne bakodwa na sey den afi ewura open be ya na onhu no ena ono de ujai eto ho saa manfo nyina hwe bi bo na anyiye nanso echi na brante bi ndindi akwasi usu ekohunu se akola keto wawu a oda ka bim ewo etwenum mama yinti abrante akwasi usu a asemi si nene no nanim no ene se de osi kire ensem num ede kire amansan
asa akwara no tamo so nyina na ma me ba me pe nkwara agoro pa dina akwara no ba me ho enti me ba wi duada me ba na omuka chemse akwara no ba me ho no ayo ta be tana tama wayira amse da be no mo se kwasi adam amsa wayira sa sen du wana mi musa na ma me ba no se masa namsa no se oba no wayira o amsa da no wayira ya na no so ko ya sori aba ya akwara no ntana wayira yan chen afọ ba ohun akwara no tiflu so sa ya hwehwe na ehun no ntinde enewu koi sister bi nso awu ya nim ho no nti ya jamu so yedi na atweda ya tnasi ya nti wono we bra bi from se member sen ko keke bi wo nti mi gina ona sister bi ka kira msa mo fita fo ne obi da ka enu amta fita ni dia ya na okoda ka enu an to ka ya ka na se ya entu nto ka ya na me ko ya na me de mani akofia grass ni mi ko ya na me musa akwara ne ya de da ka enu kwa na me bob na ne se akwara na mo so wayira no no wagu da ka enu ana manfo ba ya e ko police station ani ya ko report police ko na ba fa no e de e ko na de am de no CCS jawa otonton boat na edidim ni ana bucket no roba ha okay me essence akwara na essence obe minti na ntimi amfa mani ayeden anhwe afe
yekowie kasiebo no ewo breman asikuma odoben bra kwampotem ho wonkuro bi ndinde breman asantim eho na nkra yensa ka kira na oyiko busua no esi akonwa bi wo ho nanso dombe hu ya ne se woni o wadi kuro no ne ade o enkonwa tuntum no nipa bi abetam esuapani akwasi nkroma ewo ahoma no so yenne kobonkomo na yahwe se eba sa ansana no mode mama yenko na yenkohwe ebra omusi akonwa no emu twitwitwitwi ene ensem ahodo a ekoso na fe abusapani akwasi nkroma ba homa no so a na yene no ahwe ensem no emu nkire mu yi
the first
serious. Meme. Nobody's will touch it. Serious. Meme. Nobody's will touch it.
Afe yansaka oyoko busapani owo Breman Asantim ewo mfimfim mantemu ye ne kwa kobọ nkomo busapani akwasi nkroma ya mo ha eba TETE MMOFRA online TV so busapani ya mo ha o na pom te say radiadom busapani we dia frɛ wa bɔkɔ ye nya ne nkra sɛ ona nanom nkonwa tuntum ayira ewai
I didn't do so many questions. I was the massive thing. I was the forest. And a man young one who better to show or trip. Man, and I don't say, oh, Miss Henry, I was in 10. I was young a year. We did not ask yet. You must be just ready. And I'm a doctor. We said it can know some needs here. I didn't buy a revolution, you know. Yeah, you announce with the man defeat, finally, pan of one. I didn't know about my home. Yamin, I didn't call it, so I'm records.
Okay.
But we know, you know. Okay, you're on, I just. Morning, your doctor said, Mammy, she's already because nothing in Nina Copa, the document. And I I'm not talking. Now, I'm about to be saying it. It was your opinion. Your opinion, I said, a man must be BSC and out only hope. My anonymity be known, my mobile. But chase, I the panel. But I'm mobile, not in fear, no, get it into my football, a penny machine. Now, ya come. None of my band chair, and my blue and feeling broom, boom, Yadano, or Panabuyano, at the shop of your home.
Japan, you say, I could not know a wahina potty.
But they buy they buy Wednesday, they buy and I'm cooking in the Phoenicia, a coffee, so you move and feeling. Any at the lock for Fratuano, padlock for Fratuano. To my car, I'm feeling me now, watching, and then not bottles. I go and me want a picture in now. My name is Benning for a year of police station. And the Bayer report and I said, no, but I arrest there, need to mention.
Japan, who can send me mentias, papa. Ada mfimfi mantam de yesi hene na awusuapani ni hokra yetimisi
enya mamre mfimfi mantam de ya yedisi hene dia makwa hense ne bipai se awusuapani ni wa huntumi nse hene I said ya sa asemi asi awusuapani a ebusuano oda no eni ho no mo atua be chi obi so yo hin no de yego ensem so a ye de ama lawyers ana omo ni mambre se mo amobi so mi e bo yina mo be kom no mo hu se e ya mambre e ti ni wo sa kwa no so ana
asemu mu wirom kakra emom se mu nyina mu fra busua ba ko de omo ya yokofo saa Ejapeni omo so ya yokofo saa
omo ya busua bia e wo abakotema e de busua no mu aha bana de enti so abakotema no e china no on mbu faso
okay
bi mo so betime de ento akase omukra na omode krono eba adafis
na wadarumo se nanano mahinsie no e wodi odi ho nwanwa eba se no se Central Regional House of Chiefs no mo ne ade wo ho bi kra mo be ko mo paramount si ho no mo ne ade anza mo afasa akwa ni nyina nso so
even from the chain no yet the injunction by traditional council they been job ahina ya chino
okay
when it's now a traditional council the chief na ye no offer the for social officer oniko register ye for no ko yanko no nti omo tini wi ye no omo oba office omo ye serve no the chief ne se wa serve omo ana se wa serve omo me dey think to me nka eno nkwata the ya fine up course of the same procedure now because come up to the never happening in media as the family accounts
Japan asemu ebema wagina so asini pise nananom bi wo traditional council ho a wo munim ehu bi na saka na sichi kwai aba na
and there entira media family accounts no ano edruwa embrana na edeka brana
edeka yo
Japanese only ho na ko na ya tukunum wo to ku anfie ne ku bunku ndade atama ko nipa ma san instructions no edruwa na no a eyi no ho ano
okay na ene wakwa posifo no wako bi so mse o manya obi ache na se na wo ka se o mo nko okra bi ana o mo ko okra no pe yo
o mo nko ho we ko ya report no ko anya 1 week na me ka se ne a me no ka se e no mbe frem se o mo akoya arrest ne dia me kire we me ne me penifo na e be yes a report no e sei na e si this is what I report there so mo ye follow up na mo seven effortlessly and pass a more put
sir
pass almost the video and pass to my cocoa net is on what it's no maintain okay
asemu yo Japan ya bepe vi mantem posi penen so na ya bi se ono so ne fam ahwe e bi ade okay because efa asem no fa ho no ne mitibua emfa papa wadaroma nanso ni nyina ya besrem abotre ne ye wo ho se wa famra kwa so ide ma ne nyamra kwa so sa na nko ye wo ye ne bia
enu me nya abotre no papa me nyo ka sei se bra mo be si hene no mo popunu no na se ebusuafo no nso emranti ewom ne papa we wom so mo so mo be ne tom be bo ahemfie no e se e da ya to me de yembum e na ba da no so mo si hene na mo be me de ase apopro yes na se e ku kapa ya nka se na nka obobeka Bioma anki ko na pen
okay
e mun mo ko ku jan ni na ni se ko be bi na ntuma ko bo wa na ye se di bi wo ho
isa
o ni o wo ya kwada o fu ntuma ko pa o bobri ko ko ya o mun bum ko o hwe video na me man ko ho dan so na social media nti ya kuta bon video se bi na me ya me dia mamo
yo Shapeni ne ma botre no ensi pisa wa na ebra no bra no de besi bia munya nipa ni bi chi wo mo de aposifo no beka de na no beka ma yetiefo ne yahwefo nso aso ensi mfasa anseme ho yo Shapeni akwasi nkroma wo bremai asantim ewo esiku odom ben brakwa mensinum ewo emfimfim mantemu ene ete ne nka ewo oyoko abusuanum se ahensemo ne nananum konya tuntum ya se utanya amoyi pa miensa mo chade miensa unya bi ugina ho saa na tie wenum ne anoma odifo Samuel okayo o se saa nsem se nyina wodia obi paso ohwim ne fa nchen a Fabra ne spiritual Fabra ne prayer and counseling center ho no be hwumama e ma uduru ho aso ubense busuadua no nanano mo so da yesa ne toato aso afi ni agu shire na ye boko saa na kwantu mu nsem nso te e ya fa ko saa ade ya ne se odikofu bedu e se odi afia o se da bi o me ni kofi abrante wo se hwe ene na wo ya fie wura ya papa ye de wo mfra lupre ni bi edikọ na no so odifo Samuel enhwemu ansa na makontu mu nsem ni nyina SCP ebi ana edwuma mu nsem promotion na wo pe wo de kwa eno so edemu clear mo amutu minds e form agudie no mo hwem ho ye utanye ya obi ba mo adikan no de anya no se tam Samuel mu nim moti asem no so ase enti ya ni nyina mo hwem na wo kwa wakwa bajojojo asumdwum obu onso kra efi ogodu na nananom de asia mamo eja fesi wo mo ye mfuturo ne de kata so afi hwira base mu ukudi fo hope Oliver Samuel uduru ho a na obo ne nsa no se no wo kiro ba bi ehye no makoyi amebusua no nso eho atowon sana ebi ana ye promise and fail gina ho me de bro ne nso so onfema ya papa wo abusuanum yare hodo bi a eha wo no fa ho nsem enso ebra sana ware mu nsem wa wo pe eyere ekunu aware wo de kwa obehwe mama nya ba bia na ewa no nya ba ma bia na ewa no minimo sikani bia na yere kom de no papa trimodrinti okoemo difo Samuel ohwemu ma wansa enka ankobasa ebi nso kra na ye honhuma ware omso ma ware o eno awa awie nso kra bia wo wa nso kra bia wunya sika ye nsem bebre na wa ware no edo difo Samuel hwemu ma wa ene the prayer and counseling center wa we said dem kama kumasia ejaba family house wo ahembobo ano traffic light na sia menhia sem na meke eho ena obekwa akoto difo Samuel prayer and counseling center mesro dwada edikosi ifiada anopa bia no nsia ne fa no atenase na be se no miensa ho no wapon entiko no na o ma hunhunu abrabo no de eda wanim pote friend was 050615702 050615702 so NFA 0245479724 0245479727 na enenemo nkomo na wonso enya ensemo ha no anu ye medatiefo ne ahwefo nyina se enne yawo awiabre medika aka cho dada se wa hwe ne sabri ya akora akofie nya daje se wo fie na samanone na monhwe na muntie bi KASI3BO we de mukroje ye nsone so se die hu no apefe ne de ama na so ho na wutie bi ade ya manyosem ye fisem ene awrehosem no ne ade nyina wo hu ni sa mpa aha de se de o mka no sa pepepe ena etie medin de no na opoku ajeman ya no adadwuma efo ni nyina asia ma me so oboa ya timede KASI3BO ibreo onyame ya doma echina nso dumienu edikosi donkro ntam se ya no me no be hia bye bye.